The Innocence Legal Team specializes in false allegations of sexual and physical abuse. Patrick Clancy is the Chief Strategist of the Innocence Legal Team. He is nationally known as one of the leading trial attorneys in the specialty area of defending against false allegations of child sexual molestation, sex crimes, and child physical abuse. Mr. Clancy is the mentor for the other attorneys in the Innocence Legal Team. He cannot personally handle all of the cases. However, his special expertise is brought to bear in each of the Innocence Legal Team cases. He assists the team leader assigned to the case with his vast knowledge and is personally involved in the preparation of the trial strategy on each case. He will be part of your team as the chief strategist and will assist your team leader. Let us, in the following pages, introduce you to him and why he is nationally known and respected as a preeminent leader in this specialty field. Patrick Clancy spent the first 3 years of his career as a public defender. During those 3 years, he conducted over 75 jury trials as a Los Angeles public defender and over 25 jury trials as a Solano County public defender concerning all sorts of crimes. Since going into private practice in 1978, Patrick Clancy has conducted over 150 jury trials. These trials have involved allegations of child molestation, other sex crimes, and a few physical abuse cases. He has won over 75 child molestation trials. It is believed that this is a record in the state of California for any defense attorney. Patrick Clancy is the founder of the Innocence Legal Team and its chief strategist. He has been an attorney for 39 years and has specialized in sex crimes and abuse cases for 36 years. Mr. Clancy is certified by the California State Bar as a certified criminal law specialist. Throughout his career, Mr. Clancy has had no disciplinary problems with the State Bar. In 1992, the Recorder, Northern California's newspaper for attorneys, recognized Patrick Clancy as a leading expert in the field of false allegations of child molestation. The article was an autobiographical article entitled "Aggressive Attorneys, Unpopular Cause." At the time the article was published, Mr. Clancy had already been specializing in this field for 16 years. Now he is currently in his 4th decade of representing those falsely accused of child molestation. His entire career has been devoted to this specialty. The American Bar Association's magazine for criminal lawyers is Criminal Justice. Patrick Clancy wrote an article about false allegations of child molestation, which was published nationally by the American Bar Association. This was the first time that the American Bar Association addressed the issue of false allegations in child molestation criminal cases. Has a Child Been Molested was co-authored by Dr. Lee Coleman and Patrick Clancy. It has sold over 10,000 copies to laymen, defense lawyers, prosecution lawyers, and expert witnesses. Dr. Lee Coleman is a nationally known expert witness known for exposing junk science in the criminal courts. Patrick Clancy is a nationally known lawyer that has been representing those falsely accused of child molestation. The book is an examination of the excesses of the child protection movement. The book examines the use of junk science in the mental health field in child molestation cases. The book examines the use of junk science in the medical field in child molestation cases. The book examines the flawed investigation techniques used in child molestation cases caused by the junk science. Mr. Clancy has been asked to write for county bar associations on the subject of false allegations in child molestation cases. Here is an article in the Sacramento County Bar Association's magazine, The Docket. Mr. Clancy was requested on many occasions to give legal commentary on Good Morning America about the criminal charges of child molestation against Michael Jackson. He also appeared numerous times as a commentator on ABC News, giving commentary about the Michael Jackson case. ABC News and Good Morning America came to Mr. Clancy's office to film him for the national broadcasts. Crime and Punishment is a 1-hour television show that focuses on one trial for the entire 1-hour show. It is produced by NBC in San Diego. NBC filmed a 3-week child molestation trial in which Patrick Clancy was the defense attorney. It has been shown nationally on numerous occasions. Mr. Clancy's expert witness on suggestibility was Dr. Demosthenes Lorandos. He has written and has published an encyclopedia of how to attack junk science in the mental health profession. Dr. Lorandos is both a doctor of psychology and a lawyer. Pictured here is a moment during cross-examination of an accuser. Mr. Clancy presents his closing argument to the jury. Most people know about the Salem witch trials or the McMartin preschool case. These are two examples where group hysteria caused innocent people to be accused by multiple accusers of heinous acts. Patrick Clancy has tried and won group hysteria cases. The defendants were all teachers accused of massive numbers of acts of child molestation. Each of his cases had between 8 to 13 accusers. Although there were hundreds of felony counts, there were no convictions. Diablo magazine is to the San Francisco East Bay what the New Yorker is to New York. The magazine featured a trial won by Mr. Clancy where the defendant was a high-ranking police officer accused of child molestation. The heading poses a question about Mr. Clancy and not his client. Judgment Day. Guilty. He manipulates the system and sets child molesters free. Innocent. His only crime is sacrificing himself to defend those that are falsely accused. Patrick Clancy, Danville attorney, takes the stand in his own defense. Patrick Clancy has represented many professionals falsely accused of child molestation or other sex crimes. Those professionals include doctors, lawyers, engineers, chiropractors, teachers, and many other types of professionals whose careers are ruined if they are found guilty of child molestation or any sex crime. A System Out of Balance is a 1-hour video produced by Mr. Clancy for the benefit of his clients. The video is designed to explain to his clients the system that they have found themselves caught up in when falsely accused of child molestation. It examines the reason that the system is not fair to those who are falsely accused. 2 weeks after the video was completed, Mr. Clancy was called by the Chicago Tribune for comment. The video had just been played to the National District Attorneys Association at their annual convention being held in Chicago that week. The video was introduced as the backlash that was happening because of the manner in which the prosecution was handling child molestation cases. In the 1990s, a movement was started by a series of pop psychology books called the Recovered Memory Movement. Patients, mostly women, would go to a therapist who believed that they could recover memories in their patients of being molested and thus solve all the patient's problems. The techniques used by the therapist were nothing but suggestion. Tens of thousands of female mental health patients falsely accused their parents of child molestation before the malpractice was exposed and for the most part stopped. The danger of causing false allegations by using this type of therapy were exposed by the FBI, the American Psychiatric Association, the American Psychological Association, and other similar state associations. Laura Pasley, Dr. Lee Coleman, and Patrick Clancy produced a documentary on this unscientific pop psychology phenomena that had destroyed so many lives with false allegations of molestation. Patrick Clancy is a nationally known lawyer who defends in criminal court those falsely accused of molestation. He accepted 10 civil cases suing mental health professionals that had implanted memories into their clients of being sexually molested. Laura Pasley was the first patient that successfully sued her therapist for implanting memories that she had been the victim of sexual molestation. She has helped many other women in healing from this pop psychology therapy and helped them return to their families. Dr. Lee Coleman is a leading nationally known expert in exposing junk science in the field of psychology. Making Memories was played on U.S. and Canadian public television. Mr. Clancy represented a babysitter that was charged with murder when the child that she was watching died from shaken baby syndrome. The expert for the prosecution was a doctor from Children's Hospital Oakland. The expert for the defense was from Cedar of Sinai Hospital in Los Angeles. The prosecution expert stated that there would be no delay in the onset of symptoms from the time of shaking. The baby was in the possession of the babysitter at the time of the onset of symptoms. The defense expert stated that there can be a delay of several hours with an infant under 2 years of age because the brain does not fill the skull and it takes time to swell. The case was won when the Innocence Legal Team's chief science officer found the research relied upon by the doctor for the prosecution. In a footnote, the prosecution's own research stated that there could be a delay of several hours between the onset of symptoms if the child was under age 2. The prosecution's expert had overlooked the footnote in the research that she was relying upon. The Innocence Legal Team does its own medical and psychological research and does not rely solely upon experts. Patrick Clancy is the chief strategist on all of the Innocence Legal Team's cases. His vast knowledge and experience is relied upon in formulating the case theory or strategy of the case. He works with your team leader to ensure that you get the highest quality of representation. The Innocence Legal Team specializes in false allegations of sexual and physical abuse. Patrick Clancy is the chief strategist of the Innocence Legal Team. He is nationally known as one of the leading trial attorneys in the specialty area of defending against false allegations, nationally known and respected as a preeminent leader in this specialty field. Patrick Clancy spent the first 3 years of his career as a public defender. During those 3 years, he conducted over 75 jury trials as a Los Angeles public defender and over 25 jury trials as a Solano County. He assists the team leader assigned to the case with his vast knowledge and is personally involved in the preparation of the trial strategy on each case. He will be part of your team as the chief strategist and will assist your team leader. Let us, in the following pages, introduce you to him and why he is of child sexual molestation, sex crimes, and child physical abuse. Mr. Clancy is the mentor for the other attorneys in the Innocence Legal Team. He cannot personally handle all of the cases. However, his special expertise is brought to bear in each of the Innocence Legal Team cases. Public defender concerning all sorts of crimes. Since going into private practice in 1978, Patrick Clancy has conducted over 150 jury trials. These trials have involved allegations of child molestation, other sex crimes, and a few physical abuse cases. He has